Hello, my dear friends. Friends, I am Jyotirvid Pawan Kumar. Friends, earlier also I made a video in which I tried to convey very important message that many of our scriptures, and I am particularly talking about the great scripture of India, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is in a sort of coded form, and unless you are able to decode it in order to understand the real or true message, which is a spiritual message contained behind the words. So Bhagavad Gita verses, shlokas need to be decoded. The war, it is talking about the war of Mahabharata, that is only allegorical, symbolic, right? In order to convey certain great message, it was only taken support of a symbolic battle, right, which was never fought on any field. In fact, as I revealed in my earlier video, Kurukshetra is the field of action, which is our physical body. But this battle, which is allegorical, symbolic, is being fought by each and every human on three levels: physical, inside this body, psychologically, and spiritually as well. So I may in my further videos talk more about this, but in this video I want to draw your attention that even very seemingly simple verses of Bhagavad Gita contain great depth of wisdom, and that is only revealed if you decode, right? Now, just to illustrate what I mean, I am taking a verse which seems very simple verse, shloka, and you may read it and you may say, well, there is nothing, no depth in this, right? So for this video, just for example, I am taking one verse from the very first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and this is verse number 11, shloka number 11 of the very first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And what this shloka is in Sanskrit: Ayeneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagmavasthita bhishmameva bhirakshantu bhavantah sarva evahi. See, in this verse, the Duryodhana, son of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, which in actual fact representing the material desires, right? So Duryodhana is addressing his army of Kauravas. As per this shloka, Duryodhana is saying, all of you, he is addressing his army, all of you properly stationed in your places in the divisions of the army, do protect Bhishma. This is what this shloka says. Now, if you are just looking for literary meaning, then you may say there is nothing. Duryodhana is just asking his army personnel to look after Bhishma, and one is only worried about a person who is most important, and Bhishma is most important for them. But no, there is a greater depth. Why Bhishma? Why Duryodhana is asking his army personnel to protect Bhishma? Why? Because Bhishma symbolically here represents the ego, undeveloped ego. Ego, the identification which normally a person identifies his I identification with material forces, right? Material forces of nature. That means with his body and mind. So until you relate this ego, I identification with your soul, your true self, this ego is called undeveloped. And Bhishma in this Mahabharata is representing undeveloped ego. So it is important. Important for whom? For the Kauravas, for the negative side. Because the desires, material desires are fulfilled when ego, oneself, identification is with body and mind. Only then one falls prey to temptations and temptations which are sense oriented, right? Only then the materialistic desires are fulfilled. So Bhishma is important since he is representing undeveloped ego, right? Now when the ego or I consciousness sides with the materialistic forces of creation or body and mind, right, then one lands into 6 kinds of troubles or doshas or faults. What are these? Number 1 is kama, lust. Number 2 is krodha, anger. Number 3 is lobha, greed, right? 4th, moha. Sanskrit words are moha, which is delusion, wrong kind of attachment, right? Then 5th is mada. Mada is pride, and I would say false pride. And the 6th is matsarya, which is envy. So all these 6 are the traps in which one is caught and has to come here life after life, right? So this cycle of birth, death, rebirth goes on because these faults keep one earthbound, right? So Bhishma is important for Duryodhana, for the Kaurava side, because Bhishma is representing undeveloped ego, and one overcomes these faults or doshas only when one realizes one's true self, Tattvamasi, I am that, right? And that then this ego develops and one identifies oneself not with body and mind but with one's true self, which is witness consciousness, eternal, which is Brahma. Then no longer ego becomes a trap and one gets moksha, nirvana. I hope you understand. So my whole point of making this video was to make you realize that even very simple verses which the learned Pandits may say that, oh, there is nothing in this shloka. No. Try to go deep into it, decode, and then there is greater wisdom. And only then you will be able to relate this great scripture with your day-to-day life. Only then you will develop. I hope this video will help you to understand the great scripture Bhagavad Gita in true sense, in depth. Thank you for watching.